Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, where we celebrate and have conversations with diverse people, organizations, and businesses making a positive impact on lives and communities. In addition, we use the program to highlight and celebrate places, people, events, and positive news. I am Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, known as Mama K, and in today's program, there's a special one for me because it is indeed the month of May, my birthday month, and as well my anniversary month. And of course, the main one, celebrating African Month. Africa Day is celebrated annually across the world, starting from around Africa to celebrate the positive things about Africa, how we've liberated ourselves from past exploitation, and just looking at the positives in terms of what Africa is about, and just recognizing that we're all together in this, in Africa, doing this. So on the 25th of May, the African Union decided to call the Africa Day. So it has continued since 1960 till now, and each year various themes are focused on. So for this year, it's about year of education, which is really, really important and very, very significant. Thinking about the fact that, yes, in Africa, we still have a lot of people who are not educated. So yes, the African Union, working with UNESCO, decided for it to be the year of education with the sub-theme, I need to get this right, with the sub-theme that they've given is that educate an African fit for the 21st century, which is about building resilient education systems for increased access to inclusive, lifelong quality and relevant learning in Africa. So yes, it is very, very important that we start building, especially the generations to come for the 21st century in terms of education. So we are going to showcase a little bit about Africa, and this is a video by the VOA of Africa, just to celebrate, show you a few snippet of what African Month is about. And in addition, my favorite part, we've got amazing guests lined up for you for the month of May. So we would be showing you just snippet of what is to come, of some of these amazing people who are doing things in Africa or out of Africa as African. And yes, so I'll start. I might not call all of them, but let's start with me just sharing with you some of them that will be featuring. So yes, we have Mr. Coco Kalashi. He's an entrepreneur, specifically a social entrepreneur, which is about putting back in the community. And he founded the Jazz Native Yards Art, which is based in Cape Town, South Africa. They work with artists, they work in the township. But you find out more. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I had an amazing time just hearing his story. He has lived life well, and as well putting back and working with a lot of people. Then we have as well, so Mr. Coco is South African, so we're going diverse a little bit, you know how we do it. So we have as well Miss Vivian, who is the director for Little Steps College, which is based in Cape Town, South Africa. And they are doing amazing things, running courses, for diverse people, from English, they're teaching English, to graphic design, to chefing, to business management, social care. They are doing a lot of things over there, and they're based in town. And so we'll want you to support them. Remember, we'll be sharing all the details as well at the end, but remember, you need to watch the full-on video. And then, wow, this amazing duo. I had an amazing time with them, just hearing their stories, even while we were on air and while we were having a break in between the different segments of the program. I I'm talking about none other than Charlene Ainsley. She is the CEO for Brand Boss Media House and COO for Boss Babes Network. And of course, a partner in crime, my dear sister friend. They're both my dear sister friend now. They're South African. And she is Philippa Fancola. She is the CEO for Beloved Magazine and the CEO for Boss Babes Network. I can't wait to see how Boss Babes Networks will go from places to places, because the benefit of such a network is just beautiful. You need to hear the story and what they're doing with a lot of women in Cape Town and across South Africa as well. And this is my brother from another mother as well, Mr. Amechi Ikechi, and he is the director for Bridgestone Music, which is based in Johannesburg, South Africa. What a humble man, powerful artist, playing. You need to come and watch him. You need to just hear his story. You'll be humbled as well to hear, and inspired at the same time to hear a story. But you know what? I'll come back and tell you about who else will be featured. We'll be right back.
You may have heard of Africa Day, but do you know the history and significance behind this annual celebration? Observed on May 25th, Africa Day pays tribute to the founding of the Organization of African Unity in 1963, now known as the African Union. This special day highlights a commitment to fostering unity, solidarity, and development through the African continent. It's a time to rejoice in Africa's rich cultural heritage and history. With breathtaking landscapes, modern cities, diverse wildlife, historic landmarks, vibrant markets, and architectural achievements, Africa is a mosaic of people and places. Africa is also the second most populated continent in the world. Its natural, cultural, spiritual, ethnic, and linguistic diversity showcases both its fascinating past and its promise for the future. Annual celebrations of Africa Day around the world may include music concerts, dance performance, art exhibitions, and cultural festivals, allowing each African nation to proudly share its traditions and cultures. The day also honors influential African leaders and visionaries who have shaped human history and who have fought for peace, democracy, and development. Africa Day holds significance not only for the African continent, but for the world at large. The celebration promotes global understanding and appreciation of African cultures and contributions, emphasizing the continent's role in our shared human heritage. By participating in Africa Day celebrations, people from across the earth can immerse themselves in unique cultures, foster mutual respect, and enrich our understanding of our global neighbors.
What issue, or means anything, to you personally? I know you spoke about mental health and a lot of other stuff as well. But not just about the issue. What do you think then are the solution to solving that issue?
Well, for me, the biggest thing I'm passionate about is the issue of identity. It's saying it like that. It's broader than it sounds, you know. And this is in terms of young people who are growing up in very disadvantaged environments and circumstances. You know, just having to be able to dream. Because for me, I couldn't. It was difficult to see beyond my environment. It was difficult, and just to be able to transition, that things are possible to happen. And that is what I try to pass in my music. My reality today is nothing compared to where I come from. You know, by the time I left my father's house, it was sitting on a swamp, and I fish in front of our house. It was really bad. We had to just move there because now my dad and the landlord and issues. He had a plot of land. We had to just put a structure. And that was the life I knew I lived from. And, you know, eating meat was a very serious occasion, you know. And that was the life I knew but just to be able to see beyond that. And so for many people, it can be getting you out of a situation like that can be many different solutions. But I think religion plays a great role in some ways. I know a lot
positive role.
Positive role. Some people see it as a tool of indoctrination that has kept Africa in slavery, and they have many great points to defend that. But and I'm not here for the debate. Personally, my identity in term I don't like to refer it as religion, but for the sake of conversation. Being a Christian and my belief in God has been the greatest instrument, if I could call it that has taken me out of that. Just finding myself in the scriptures and what God says about me. One great example is Psalms, the book of Psalms 1 verse 3, where it says, "Whatsoever I do, it shall prosper." That scripture, when I think about how the going is sometimes being a musician and how people say it, it says, whatsoever. If someone was a janitor, that person could be rich being a janitor if they could see the riches in it and how to work it out. So, and also taught me not to be one-dimensional. So that means I can be many things, because whatsoever I put my hands to do, I can be successful. So that opened my mind. So I think being able to let people understand that they can actually come out of it. So you need to look for all the listeners, not everyone is a Christian. So you need to look for something that will get you out of where you are. The most important point is that you are not defined by where you are or where you come.
What's your definition of success? And you're obviously a leader, you know, with all what you do. How would you describe what leadership, or what qualities would you say a leader should have?
Let's come to success first. We'll say many people don't like to hear when you say that, I'm a very successful woman. They think that you are bragging or what, because they don't understand the meaning of successful to you. Because it depends on each other. What does he think is success, what it means for. For me, like I said earlier on, success for me, it's being able to change something, to change someone's life, to make a difference in someone's life. Like I said earlier, meeting people on the road that will say, "Oh, thank you so much, Ma'am V. If it was not you today, I was not going to be what I am today." Meeting people who will tell you like, "Okay, this is what I got today because of the advice that you did give me." So this is success for me.
And leadership?
And leadership for me, it's not being the one on top there, because I'm the one who's the CEO or what. No, leadership for me, it's being able to listen, being able to coach the others, and being able to take action in the worst case scenario where everyone or your team can't stand. Because many people call themselves as a leader, but in the worst case scenario, they are not there. They cannot take decision or they cannot stand for the team. And for me, being a leader, it's being able to stand for your team, listening, and being able to coach them, give them the right direction.
So obviously there's some life lessons that you would have learned that you'll be able to tell a younger Coco in Yanga to say, you know what, avoid this, do that. Can you do? Can you share that with us?
Most of all is believe in yourself. I know this is very difficult for a lot of people because it's always a question of how do I fit into this blob of activity that's how do I insert myself in. I was fortunate in that I'd gone out to seek meaning of my life, from a young age. I mean, the other stories that are 7 of us, 17-year-olds, we came together and we said, well, it's just too dull where we're sitting. Should we organize entertainment? Okay. Should we organize competitions? Shall we sort of seek ways to connect with other communities which are not in our immediate thing. So as a young person, always find an angle to be useful to the universe, because the universe always remembers that and give back to you. And in doing that, as you find these usefulness, etc., you obviously have to embody qualities like integrity, like reliability. Right. You have to, and also just inform yourself of whatever direction you want to, read up, listen to people, make yourself available to volunteer, to be made useful. I mean, not everything is about money. Yes, money, excuse me. Money makes the world go round, but it's not always.
Keeps you going. Why do you wake up in the morning? What motivates you to keep doing what you're doing?
Feeding us.
That's a good one. Why not? Yeah.
No, that is kind of number one. And that's great. And I think the journey, in a way, is what really teaches you is that what matters has in a sense is close to you, because you've kind of created what's close to you. So that has to be, I think, your number one in terms of how you proceed, because that is something that you have created and you need to nurture and look after. And I think one of the great things about this entrepreneurial journey, in a sense, is that you start being quite ruthless in how you know what's important and what's not important. And I think the most important thing is to be totally and utterly as good as you can be, because your surroundings might be a bit grotty or a bit not like slick. But if you do the job in a really professional manner and you're like up to the mark in what needs to happen, and your people walk away from you going, wow, I might go back there, or they don't need to because you've done such a good job, they don't ever need to see you again, then that's really cool, That's kind of what kind of motivates me. And also, the fact is that it's never ending. It's just always, every day, there's something to learn.
Something new.
And there's somebody that presents themselves and you're like, wow, that's really different, I've never encountered this situation before, and then you get to know them and they get to know you, and it just becomes a really great exchange. And that's why, again, I think anybody in this kind of a profession, you need to be careful of the people you're working with, because actually they're your teacher. They're the ones that are giving of themselves freely to you, and generally they're paying you as well. And it's really important to just honor that, because my experience is dependent. My ability as a masseuse is dependent on working with people.
So what are the 3 things for you that you value most in life?
Well, my family is kind of obvious, I guess. Yeah. And
Family?
I value the other. And I think the
what
other...
do you mean by the other?
Well, I was brought up as a Catholic, right?
Yes.
And Sean actually converted to being Catholic himself. So he
Sean, your husband?
Yeah, yeah. He's my partner, so
your
he
partner.
teaches as well, Tai Chi Chuan. So basically the other, as a kid, like people are very dismissive of Ireland and the Catholicism and stuff, and even in Ireland. But, you know, Catholicism gave me a sense of the other. It gave me the ability to imagine a world outside my material realm. It gave me a way of saying, okay, there is another possibility. There is another potential. There is, and you know, there is a way of looking at the world that doesn't have to be just this way. And I really appreciate that. And the third one is food. Being able to grow food is really.
So you grow food as well?
No, I'm in the halfpenny place.
Yeah,
I'm in the halfpenny place. Yeah. But having the ability to be able to do so is kind of cool. Yeah.
So, what is your definition of success? When people say, "Oh, that person is successful," what do you think that means?
Oh yeah, I don't really. I mean, it can mean anything relative
for you.
To how,
I'm asking.
Yeah.
For you,
sure.
How would you define the success?
Well, I think my definition of success at the moment is like I'm doing something I really, really feel I love. But at the same time, I'm not doing it to the detriment of my family. They're all getting fed. They're all clothed. We've still got a roof over our head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what are some of the life lessons that you haven't shared already that you want to share that would be of benefit to a young Charlene back in Dublin? You know, some of what you're saying that you were there, you know, where you almost gave up, but you choose life and you keep choosing life each time because you know the person who's giving you life is God. So what are some of the life lessons, you know, that you could just pack into 2 minutes if you can? And I want both of you to answer because for me, that's part of what some of our viewers and listeners have said that they found really useful. So please, I don't know who wants to go first.
1 minute, you take 1 minute.
No, it's fine. We could go over. I was joking with the time.
You can get 50 seconds. I think, and it's funny because I'm having these conversations with my teenage daughter now. She's just turned 13. And I'm having these conversations with her where in my young day there wasn't the cell phones that we were strapped to all the time. So I'm teaching her how to be present. Be present in each and every moment. And yes, obviously we are busy working with our phones, we work with technology, we're busy people, but try your best to be as present as you can in each and every moment that you have. To listen to your elders, and this I think goes much deeper than just from a child to an adult, but listen to your peers, listen to your leaders, listen to your loved ones, listen to your friends, just listen and feel when some of that advice is for you. You will feel it in your spirit, man, when you go, that's for me, I need to pay attention. Yeah, just be organized. Be organized. I mean, whether you can be there's a difference between being a messy person. I mean, we're creatives, so if you go onto our desks, there would be
I like that one. That's the word I'm going to be using. I'm like that. I'm creative.
We're creative. We're going to blame everything on being creative. But there's a difference between being messy but being organized. Do you have your ducks in a row? Do you know what you want to do? Do you have a plan? Are you organized? And I think organization skills and listening skills and being present in the moment is something that will take you throughout your life. For me personally.
I want to just add to that. I think 100% what you're saying. I want to add one more thing, and that is trust yourself. You know, sometimes we are in the moment. We have to make things work. But listen to yourself.
listen to that instinct and trust the process, but trust yourself in the process. Can you do this? Push yourself to the next level, Excel for yourself and do it for yourself, not for others. I'm 100% in my life at the moment where I've chosen me. And I had to, because for 20 years I've lived for congregation members. Yeah. For 25 years I've been available to everyone at every given time, to my detriment. But then I came to a point where I'm saying, I'm first. Because if I'm not first, I will never be good to anyone else. So trust yourself, listen to your body, listen to your process. And another thing, as a pioneer, pioneers are, like Charlene said, we're creators, we're pioneers, so we don't follow through. And I needed to learn to follow through. Where I get brilliant ideas. I get a magazine, and now a year later I'm like, yeah, but listen, can we not move a bit on to bigger things? And I'm saying no, because the magazine has to, get into bigger steps, and be in and trust the people around you to be able to. As pioneers, we need to know we can't do everything, and that was a hard one for me. I cannot do everything. So hey, trust myself to surround myself with people that can help me to get further much quicker.
You probably were not looking at me because you were talking. I'm like, is she talking to me there? Is she talking to me there? We've heard you, and we are with you, and we're listening. So my final question, I'm already going to have a part 2. You guys already know that. But I don't want to even go where you took me there. So I'm like, okay. Holy Spirit, I hear you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've just said, listen when it's for you.
Yeah. Yes, I hope you got a glimpse, a little bit of taster of what is to come and what Africa Month is all about. And as well, we heard their stories, and wow, from South Africans to Congolese to Nigeria, and now we're going to Zambia. So yes, we will be showing you and sharing the story of Miss Monica Domingo. She is the founder of Dimitri Zambian Limited, and wow. She's an activist in terms of environmental issues, saving trees, planting trees, doing cleaning work, doing horticulture, doing amazing things. But I'm not going to tell you everything, so you need to want to watch it. And she is my AWEC sister. For those who don't know what AWEC is, you need to Google it. But if you haven't heard about my AWEC sister, you need to hear more about us. So she's one of my AWEC sisters, based in Zambia, and what a story as well. I'm always humble. We always look out for real stories that will touch you, or that will help inspire one person, even if it's one person watching or listening. Thank you, Miss Monica. Then I had this, now we're going to Ireland. I don't know whether it's going to be in that format of order they're going to appear, but just so you know, so we're going from South Africa to Nigeria to Congo to Zambia to and now Ireland. This is a lady that left Ireland, Dublin, to come to South Africa. But you need to find out why. She's doing unusual things, and I just fell in love as well with her. So sweet, so wow. If you don't know about Tai Chi, you need to go and learn about it. I just feel so good since I had a full-on Tai Chi massage. So she's the co-founder for Working in Progress. And she is based in Cape Town, originally from Dublin. She has background as a chef. She ran restaurant before. She's done a lot of things before. But like I said, you need to find out more about her. And then come and watch the full-on program where I had fun. Is it the chicken, the hen? But you need to wait to see it. So yeah. Then we have as well another sister. She's my Shagamite sister. I have a lot of sisters and brothers. So she is Mrs. Morenike Ajayi, an MBE. And she's a social entrepreneur based in London, UK. She grew up in Nigeria. She does a lot of work, in the UK with MPO, and she's a chartered accountant, as well. And can't wait to bring what she does to South Africa if we can look at how we can collaborate. So career nuggets, you might see career nuggets here in Cape Town or South Africa, as a whole. So yes, there were more other people, but we'll let you enjoy them. And we'll be sharing details about what to look out for. And please, if you want us to share your story, do get in touch. Or know somebody that you feel that a story or his story needs to be heard. Or their story, we are ready. We are ready. So, well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this program today, which has been educative, and you heard it's the Year of Education as African Month. So there are going to be other things we'll be doing within Bold Moves, so just look out. So what are you going to be doing to celebrate African Month? It's just the beginning. So there's a lot you can do, You can educate yourself, you can collaborate with others, you can volunteer, you can go to a school to suggest, or your children's school, or your cousin's school, or your neighbor's school, to educate them about anything from Africa. Is it the animals, the food, the clothing, the music, the artists, the films, the authors we have, the educationalists we have, or the politicians as well. There's so much. Or the natural features we have, the landscapes, the monuments, the bridges, the mountains, the rivers. I could go on and on. Those who know me know I'm very passionate about Africa. I see myself as an African first before anything else. Well, that's all we've got time for today. We'll be back with more. And can't wait for June, where we'll be celebrating our youth. So till next time, stay safe, stay blessed. Love you. God bless.